share how I make my bread. So right here I have 4 cups of water, 4 cups of warm water. I added 1/3 of a cup of olive oil. You can use butter or any other type of oil. I added 1/3 of a cup of honey. You can also use sugar if that's what you would like. And I added 2 tablespoons of active dry yeast. Right now I'm gonna give it a stir and I'm gonna leave it and let it sit for a while I prepare my dry ingredients. In my stand mixer, I put 4 cups of flour. I added about a tablespoon of salt, and you don't have to, but I add baking powder, just a little bit of baking powder. It helps it rise faster. It's up to you. Sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. And in a separate bowl on the side, I put 4 cups of flour, just flour. That I'm gonna add slowly after later on. So here I'm using the flat beater just to start with. That way that it gives it a good mix and it mixes all the ingredients together. So while that is mixing, I'm going to start adding in my wet ingredients. So the 4 cups of water with the yeast, the olive oil, and the honey. I'm going to start adding that. By this time, the yeast should be foamy on the top, which means that it's active and you can use it. So I will slowly start adding this into the mixer and let it mix and incorporate well. You don't have to use a stand mixer. There are times when I don't use my stand mixer and I do it all by hand. I would at this point use a whisk just to get the ingredients mixed really well. And then I would knead with my hands. You can also do that. This just saves on time with the stand mixer. So as this is well incorporated, then I'm going to start adding in the flour that I have on the side. I started adding them. I think it was a 1/2 cup, but it doesn't really matter. You just want to add it slowly and let it mix. So there, this is what it looks like. All of the flour is in here and it's mixing with the flat beater. And then I'm going to switch to a dough hook. So here's my dough hook and I'm going to just have it mix while I clean up and prep for the next step. So this is usually about 5 minutes, I would say, 3 to 5 minutes. Just let it do its work. If you had to mix it with your hands, of course, you can do that as well. So this is what it looks like when it's mixed for about 3 to 5 minutes. And now my area is prepped and I'm ready to take it out and start kneading it with my hands. You would want to take some flour and put it on your surface so that the dough doesn't stick. You would also want to apply some on your hands because it's pretty sticky. So as you can see right here, it's pretty sticky. So I would have to put some flour on my hands. You can also use oil as well. It doesn't really matter, either one works. So I'm going to take this out, put it on my surface. If you want to get the excess of the dough that's in the pan, you apply some flour and it's easy. It comes off pretty easy. And just so everybody knows, this recipe right here makes 3 loaves. So 3 full loaves. Today I made 2 loaves and I made some buns just because I made chopped barbecue and coleslaw for dinner, and we needed some rolls, so some buns actually. Um, Maybe in a recipe in the future I would show you how to make dinner rolls, but today we're making 2 loaves and some buns. So here you see I'm kneading it, not hard. I'm not pushing on it hard, just gently, and kneading it into a bowl. And now we're going to spray the bottom of a bowl, a dry bowl, and I put some oil in the bottom so that it doesn't stick. I'm gonna let this sit for about 30 minutes. I put some olive oil on the top as well, because you don't want the dough to dry and then start cracking as it's swelling up. So I covered it with a towel, and usually I will keep this on top of the stove, and the warmth from the oven would help it rise faster. So here you go. This is 30 minutes later, 30, 45 minutes later. It's doubled in size, and now it's ready to be put in the pan. I prepped a pan, the loaves, and I sprayed it with some olive oil at the bottom, the bread pan. And here you go. And this is, cut it in 3 pieces, 3 equal pieces. I gave it a little roll. I didn't mess with it too much. I didn't knead anything. I just rolled it and put it in my pan. There you go. Give it a little roll. Roll it. And put it in my bread pan. There you go. And these I'm going to try to do as equal as I can and make little bowls. And this would be to make the buns. So here you go. There it is. It's on the stove, and I'm going to spray it with some olive oil again because I want the top to stay moist and nice and moist. So here you go. Then I'm going to cover it, and I'm going to leave it on the stove because from the pilot light it helps it raise faster. So there you go. I will leave that until usually I'll just go by just looking at it and I know. And then I'll pop it in the oven at 350, and here you go. I would say the waiting time for it to rise would be like 30 to 45 minutes. But here you go. This is the end result. And these are the buns. The buns took a little longer than the loaves. But here you go. Here is the end result. Please, after you're done baking, take it right out of the pan and let it cool.